Hi, welcome to BCTV, Evening News at 6 o'clock. Thanks for joining us tonight. Tonight we have stories about Jim Thorpe, teacher who was arrested after he brandished a sword on his desk while watching Lord of the Rings in class. And an official at a high school near you was incarcerated after he served chicken patties that were purple on the inside to students for 4 years. Horrifying and disgusting, if you ask me. But we start tonight with Dr. Gus Periwinkle, who will be telling us a little bit about corporal punishment and its effects on children. How you doing tonight, Doctor?
Very good, Doug. Thank you for having me on the show tonight.
Anytime. Now, why don't we start out with you giving us a broad definition of just what corporal punishment is, paint some brushstrokes, get us going on what it is for the folks at home.
Well, some of the basic guidelines that most studies use when they're discussing corporal punishment includes some of the following concepts. It is controlled, it is contingent on the child's behavior, it is used immediately and privately after the incident, it is carried out in conjunction with reasoning, it is mild and does not escalate to abuse, it is not used for children under 18 or past puberty, the child is forewarned, the parent uses more positive than negative incentives, the parent is calm, and the intention of the punishment is to correct and not to retaliate. And these are some of just the basic guidelines that separate corporal punishment from abuse.
Alright, that was very, very informative. Now, why has this come to the forefront of people's minds in recent years?
Well, for one main reason is recently there have been some new statistics and studies from sources with a wider range of applicants. One such study was from Calvert College in Michigan and was conducted by Majorhi Gunho, a professor of psychology. The results were really astounding. There was no difference between children who were corporally punished and those who were not corporally punished in the areas of depression, fighting, and sexual activity. But on the other hand, there was a difference in the fact that corporally punished children did better in school, were more likely to go to college, were more likely to do volunteer work, and were generally happier in life.
That's great. That's great that they're happy. That's pretty straightforward results, I think. Not confusing or self-contradicting at all. However, do you think there's a correlation between the fact that children who are spanked did better in areas involving ambition in school simply because they were spanked as children? Or does that have something to do with something else?
No, I think this is possible, but it is very much not probable. You aren't really giving parents who don't spank their children enough credit. Just because they don't use corporal punishment doesn't mean they're not involved in their child's life. However, this is kind of a nice transition into some interesting statistics I have from Sweden, who abolished all forms of corporal punishment in 1979. So in Sweden, a generation has grown up without any corporal punishment. The results of this situation were that teens of 15 years and under became overall more violent towards their peers. And the rate of youth criminal assaults between 1984 and 1994 increased by 6 times.
6 times? You could say that's close to 7 times.
That's a pretty big increase. Then these statistics are kind of the reasoning behind why corporal punishment is, even though it may seem violent, is a good way to prevent violence in children.
That may seem like a paradox to some people, but I can see the reasoning since you explained it so well, so succinctly. It certainly adds a new perspective to our discussion on that. And
it certainly does.
I believe that those statistics from 1979 will be really helpful in today's culture of 2014, really dissecting the problem.
We hope so.
Thank you for joining us, Doctor. Now let's send it over to Ollie with the weather.